let us continue the numericals that we were solving yesterday. The resultant of two forces acting at an angle of 120 degree. There are two forces. Suppose they are P and Q. आप कोई भी नाम दे सकते हो. Two forces are suppose P and Q. Acting at 120 degree means the angle between them, theta, is 120 degree. Is 10 kg weight. What is 10 kg weight? Read the whole sentence. The resultant of two forces acting at an angle of 120 degree is 10 kg weight. इन दोनों का resultant है, the resultant of these two forces is 10 kg weight and perpendicular to one of the forces. What is perpendicular to one of the forces? The resultant is perpendicular to one of the forces, means alpha is equal to 90 degree. The angle between the resultant and first force is how much? 90 degree. That force is, तो वो force कितना है? Okay. So the two forces are P and Q. Suppose this is force P, okay, and this is force Q. The angle between them is 120 degree, and resultant R is perpendicular to one force, means this angle is how much? 30 degree. The angle between Q and R is how much? 30 degree, and this angle is 120 degree. So now, if you complete this triangle like this, parallelogram, then this force is P, means this is also P and this is Q. What about this? 30 degree. So if you consider this triangle, tan 30 degree will be opposite side upon adjacent side. Opposite side is P upon adjacent side is R. So P is equal to R tan 30. So P is equal to R is given to be 10 into tan of 30 degree is 1 by root 3. So P is equal to 10 by root 3 kg weight. So that force, कौन सा force? जिसको resultant perpendicular है, that force is 10 by root 3 kg. So which is your answer? That is, two vectors P and Q are inclined to each other at 60 degree. The two vectors are inclined to each other at 60 degree, means theta. The angle between the two vectors is 60 degree. The magnitude of P and Q vectors are 10 and 15 units. Magnitude of P is 10 unit. Magnitude of Q is 15 units. What is the angle alpha made by the resultant R with P? Alpha is equal to what? Angle made by the resultant with P, means P is the first vector. Direct formula you have to use. Tan alpha is equal to Q sine theta upon P plus Q cos theta. That is equal to 15 into sine 60 upon P 10 plus Q cos 60, right? That is equal to 15 into sine of 60 degree is root 3 by 2 upon 10 plus 15 into cos of 60 degree is 1 by 2. Am I correct? Am I right? 60 degree का cos कितना है? 1 by 2. That is equal to this 2, 7.5. So it is 7.5 root 3 upon. This is again 7.5. So 10 plus 7.5, that is 17.5. So this is equal to 7.5 into root 3 is 1.732. इसके पहले एक बार हम देख चुके हैं रूट 3 की वैल्यू क्या होती है 1.732 अपॉन 17.5. Now you shift the decimals. एक डेसिमल आगे, ये एक डेसिमल आगे. 25 3s are 75, 27s are 25 7s are 175. Now divide this. Point 7 2s are 14, carried 3, 4s are 28, carried 5, 52 हो गए. 7 7s are 49, carried 3, 7 4s are 28, 0.2474. Now multiply this with 3. 3 4s are 12, carried 1, 3 7s are 21 plus 1 22, carried 2, 3 4s are 12 plus 2 14, carried 1, 3 2s are 6 plus 1 7.7422. So tan alpha is 0.7422. So alpha will be what? Tan inverse of that. अब ऑप्शंस में देखो इसके नजदीक कौन सा है. डायरेक्ट है 7422. So C is your answer. Alpha is equal to tan inverse 0.7422. Two forces acting in opposite directions. Acting in opposite directions means theta is equal to 180 degree. Have a resultant of 10 Newton. Their resultant is 10 Newton. अगर इन दो फोर्सेस को हम बोलते हैं सपोज P and Q, तो ये R किसका रिजल्टेंट है? P plus minus Q. They are in opposite direction. Means R is the resultant of P minus Q. Okay. If they act at right angles to each other, first condition is over. If theta is equal to 90 degree, if they act at right angles to each other, then the resultant is 50 Newton. When they are acting in opposite directions, means their resultant is P minus Q, which is 10 Newton. When they are acting at right angles to each other, when they are perpendicular to each other, the resultant is 50 Newton. What are the magnitudes of the two forces? Means P is equal to what and Q is equal to what? Magnitudes of the two forces. Suppose P बड़ा है और Q छोटा है, तो P minus Q is equal to R. Vector P minus vector Q is equal to vector R. And since they are in the opposite directions, you can directly subtract them. So P minus Q, magnitude of P minus magnitude of Q is equal to magnitude of R. ये समझ में आ रहा है? दो वेक्टर्स अगर सेम डायरेक्शन में हैं तो हम बोलते हैं 5 plus 10 is equal to 15. डायरेक्टली वहां पर कोई वेक्टर मेथड यूज नहीं करना है. अगर टू वेक्टर्स अपोजिट डायरेक्शन में हैं तो हम बोलते हैं 10 minus 5 that is equal to 5. वहां पर भी डायरेक्शन अपोजिट होने के कारण सीधे सीधे हम सब्ट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं. सो P minus Q is equal to R और P minus Q is equal to 10 Newton. So from first condition you got one equation, P minus Q is equal to 10. Now P and Q are perpendicular to each other. So what will be their resultant? When two vectors are perpendicular to each other, resultant is under root P square plus Q square. कल हमने देखा था ये, तो कितना है ये R? 50. So 50 is equal to under root P square plus Q square. Square both the sides. 50 का square 2500 is equal to t square plus q square. You got another equation. So p square plus q square is 2500 and p minus q is equal to 10. अब इसको हम कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं? p minus q is equal to 10 means p is equal to q plus 10. माइनस q उधर गया, तो यहां पर p की जगह पर हम लिख सकते हैं q plus 10. So 2500 is equal to p की जगह पर q plus 10 का स्क्वायर plus q square. Is it right? Now you open the bracket. 2500 is equal to a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So q square plus 2q into 10, that is 20q, plus 10 square, that is 100, plus q square. Q square plus q square is 2q square. So 2500 is equal to 2q square plus 20q plus 100, or you can say 2q square plus 20q, 100 minus 2500, that is minus 2400 is equal to 0. Divide the equation by 2. Q square plus 10q minus 1200 is equal to 0. Q square plus 10q minus 1200 is equal to 0. What is this? Quadratic equation. You can solve quadratic equation. You have learned that in 10th standard. So how much will be the two factors? 40 and 30, plus 40 and minus 30. 40 minus 30 is 10. So the two vectors are 40 and 30 Newton. So what is your answer? So obviously P is Q plus 10. So Q 30 होगा और P 40 होगा. Q is 30, P is 40. तो F1 is 40, F2 is 30. कौन सा है देखो वो? F1 40, F2 30. That is option A. Two vectors P and Q are given by vector P is equal to 3i plus 4j plus 5k, and vector Q is equal to 2i plus 2j plus 3k. These two vectors are given. What are the direction cosines of the vector P minus Q? Vector P minus Q के डायरेक्शन कोसाइंस क्या होंगे? डायरेक्शन कोसाइंस मतलब क्या? Suppose this is x axis, this is y axis. Suppose this is any vector A which makes angle theta with the x axis. तो यहां से अगर आप परपेंडिकुलर डालो, this is what? Vector ax. So what is cos theta equal to? Cos theta is adjacent side upon hypotenuse, means ax upon a. So cos theta is ax upon a. Suppose इस वेक्टर का एंगल y एक्सिस से है, suppose alpha, then what will be cos alpha equal to? Adjacent side upon hypotenuse. Adjacent side मतलब ये क्या है? a y है ना, ये ax है, ये है ay. So cos alpha will be adjacent side upon hypotenuse, that is ay upon a. These are called direction cosines. ax upon a, ay upon a, और obviously तीसरा क्या होगा? az upon a. These are called direction cosines of a vector. Ax upon a, ay upon a, az upon a are the direction cosines of a vector. So we have to find the direction cosines of P minus Q. So first of all, we'll find out vector P minus Q. पहले vector P minus Q find करेंगे और फिर उसके direction cosines. So what will be vector P minus Q? It will be 3I plus 4J plus 5K. This is P minus 2I minus 2J minus 3K. So vector P minus Q is equal to 3I minus 2I, that is I. 4J minus 2J, that is plus 2J, plus 4J minus 2J, that is plus 2J. 5K minus 3K is plus 2K. So vector P minus Q is I plus 2J plus 2K. मतलब इस वेक्टर में AX कितना है 1, AY is 2 and AZ is also 2. AX is 1, AY is 2, AZ is 2. डायरेक्शन कोसाइंस क्या है AX अपॉन A, AY अपॉन A, AZ अपॉन A. मतलब पहले हमको A फाइंड करना पड़ेगा. A मतलब क्या मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ वेक्टर P माइनस Q. इस वेक्टर का मैग्नीट्यूड दैट इज इक्वल टू अंडर रूट 1 स्क्वायर प्लस 2 स्क्वायर प्लस 2 स्क्वायर. 4 plus 4 8 plus 1 9. Root of 9 is 3. So A is how much 3. So direction cosines AX upon A is 1 by 3. AY upon A, that is 2 by 3, and AZ upon A, that is again 2 by 3. So direction cosines of vector P minus vector Q is 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 2 by 3. Check with the options. 1 by 3, 2 by 3, 2 by 3. कौन सा है वो? First option. So your answer is A, the first one. Now I am giving you some questions for homework. अभी जितने हमने MCQ सॉल्व किए हैं, कल जो सॉल्व किए थे, आई होप कि आपने उसकी प्रैक्टिस की है. यू हैव सॉल्व्ड इट ऑन योर ओन. आई एम गिविंग यू फ्यू क्वेश्चंस टू सॉल्व ऑन योर ओन टुडे. थोड़े थोड़े हिंट्स भी दूंगा, माइनर, बट यू विल हैव टू थिंक एंड सॉल्व देम. एंड टुमारो I will give answers and explanations to those questions. So solve all the questions. Take your own time. Time के बारे में मत सोचो, कितना भी समय लगने दो. Try to solve. उसके पीछे लगे रहो, एक एक क्वेश्चन के पीछे लगे रहो देर तक, अलग अलग तरह से सोचते रहो. ओके, तभी वो सॉल्व हो पाएंगे. बिकॉज इट इज जस्ट द बिगिनिंग. ये शुरुआत है, अभी बहुत प्रैक्टिस करनी है आपको. ओके, so solve all those questions. Tomorrow you'll get the answers and explanations. We have solved such type of question before. What you have to do is use triangle law to find out vector AB. You find vector OA, vector OB, and from that you find out vector AB. We have done such type of question before. Here you can use direction cosine. Law of parallelogram of vector addition you can use.
law of parallelogram of vector addition again. Try it.
So have a nice time. Good day. Bye bye.